Joe Crow. Tommy lived in a small town nestled between rolling hills and whispering forests. One blustery day, after a fierce windstorm, Tommy ventured out to explore the aftermath. As he walked through the forest, he heard a faint, distressed cawing sound. Curious, he followed the noise until he stumbled upon a tiny baby crow, shivering and alone on the ground. Its nest had been blown away by the storm. Tommy gently scooped up the baby crow and held it close. "Don't worry, little one," he said softly. "I'll take care of you." He named the baby crow Joe. Tommy took Joe home, and with his dad's help, they built a cozy little nest in a box. They fed Joe and made sure he was warm and safe. As days turned into weeks, Joe grew stronger and healthier. He learned to fly short distances and soon began following Tommy everywhere he went. Tommy and Joe became the best of friends. They played together in the garden, with Joe swooping and diving while Tommy laughed and cheered. Joe even learned to mimic Tommy's whistle, and they would whistle back and forth to each other, filling the air with joyful tunes. One sunny afternoon, while Tommy and Joe were playing, a group of wild crows flew by. Joe watched them with keen interest, his head tilting from side to side. Over the next few days, the wild crows returned, and Joe began to join them for short flights. He would always come back to Tommy, but each time, he stayed away a little longer. Tommy watched with mixed feelings as Joe made new friends. He missed their close bond but knew that Joe was a bird meant to fly free. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Joe flew off with the other crows and didn't return that night. Tommy waited anxiously, hoping Joe would come back. Days turned into weeks, and Joe didn't return. Tommy felt a pang of sadness but also a sense of pride. He knew that Joe had found his place in the world, just as he should. Tommy's dad sat down beside him one evening. "You did a wonderful thing for Joe, Tommy," he said. "You gave him a chance to grow strong and find his own path. Sometimes, letting go is the kindest thing we can do for those we care about." Tommy nodded, understanding his father's words. He knew that Joe was where he belonged, soaring high and free with his fellow crows. Moral of the story: loving someone means giving them the freedom to follow their own path, even if it means letting go. True friendship and care are shown not by holding on too tight, but by allowing others to spread their wings and fly.